thanks to the support as a channel member, Rexmus1. Well, folks, that was a £500 million transfer window, and now we play against the teams that finished first and second in the Premier League last season. After spending that amount of money, we should really be in a title race, but in about 20 minutes' time, we could be 6 points behind. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, it is our first two matches in charge of Manchester United, and we kick things off against our Coventry bogey team, Tottenham. They've beaten us on the last day of the last two seasons and broken our hearts. But now we're Manchester United and we've got an incredibly good team. If you missed the £500 million transfer window yesterday, go back and watch it. It's one of the best slices of transfer business I've ever put together. The standout star of which is new boy Joe Ireland, who is the best young player in the Premier League, one of the best young players in the world. He's going to lead us to great, great things. Let's go beat Tottenham. This is the team we're going to put out there to beat Tottenham. Unfortunately, both of our expensive new strikers are unavailable. Gyökeres picked up an injury in pre-season and can only play 45 minutes. Omarodian is still injured from his pre-season injury. And Norberto Otter, our new left winger, is also injured, which means our other striker option, Van der Winden's got to start on the left-hand side. So Ilunga, who I signed to play central midfield, is actually going to be playing up front, which is his natural position. I mean, if he gets a hat-trick, he establishes himself there, and all of a sudden, all those other strikers are forced to try and grab the spot off of him, because midfield is competitive too. We've got Ireland starting in now alongside Mainu, but we've also got the new boy Larson, who can't even get on the bench for today's match, ready to compete in there. It's a strong team, is what I'm getting at. So we've got Costa in goal, a back four of new boy Aketsi, Scalvini, Delict, and new boy Serrao. Ugarte at the base of the midfield, Mainu and Ireland ahead of him. Van der Winden on the left, Garnacho on the right, and Ilunga, like I say, playing up front. We'll see. We'll see if he ends up keeping that spot long term. But the last couple of times we've played Tottenham, it's not been a very nice day for me. I'm hoping doing it as Manchester United manager could be a nicer day. I mean, it's the worst possible time, really, for us to play against two of the best teams in the Premier League, because although we've got this very expensively arranged squad of superstars, this is the first time they've played together in a competitive game. Our team cohesion is close to zero. It's going to take us a while to get up to speed. Although I'm kind of tongue-in-cheek saying I expect to be in a title race this season, realistically, we're looking to get into the Champions League. The board are happy with the Europa League. We're playing in the Conference League this season. It's going to be an impressive feat if we hit the ground running with so many new players in the squad. Although, obviously, we have got a bunch of players who've been here a long time, like Garnacho, who's just won us this corner, like Mainu, like Ugarte, like Delict. There's players who've been here a while, so it's a decent mix of established Manchester United stars who, to be fair, haven't exactly produced a decent league finish in their entire Manchester United careers, along with the exciting youngsters. We've got rid of the really old folk. We're trying a shenanigans corner. I don't think I've ever done I mean, when the AI does the shenanigans corner, they score. When I do one, no, nothing. Very, very upsetting. But I guess at least we're trying exciting things. But we've got this team full of massive footballers. We've got a very big, very physical football team. Let's get the ball in the 6-yard box. Don't be faffing around like that from corners. For goodness sake. Right, Mainu plays it forward to Ilunga, and now Ireland out to Van der Winden, and he bursts into the area, slides it across. Ilunga can't apply the finish. That is 1 point in the tally column that he's a midfielder, not a striker. The fact that he can do both, I think, is only going to stand in his favour when it comes to getting him game time. And it might be that he forces me to rethink the entire system and play a 4-2-3-1. Although if we do that, all of a sudden Ireland doesn't fit into it, and it gets very complicated. Remember, Ireland as well is a natural on the left wing. So we've got lots of players who can play in multiple positions. It's going to take me a little while to work out what the best combination of them is, and even who our best players in each position are, because I have no idea who our best striker is. It could be any one of four. I genuinely have no idea. We'll work it out by Christmas, and by the time we get into the second half of the season, we'll know who our best 11 is. Ilunga is in again, and once again can't apply the finish. forces a save out of the Spurs keeper. We've been the better team in this first half, but we haven't been able to make the breakthrough. But with our two, what I would imagine our two first choice strikers both unavailable, I guess it was always going to be a challenge to grab goals today. Is that fair? Ireland looks like he's struggling a little bit. I mean, he wasn't fully fit at the start of the match. I don't know what Newcastle were doing in terms of a pre-season, but he arrived not close to match fit. So I don't know if they just weren't using him. It's not like he magically became the second best player in the Premier League when he arrived. He was in the Dream 11 before he signed for us. It's, you know, they should have been building their team around him. Instead, they were spending millions on multiple goalkeepers and letting us have him for, I mean, yeah, 97 million's a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, for a player of his quality at his age, he's a £300 million player in this universe. I don't really understand how we've got him, but he's here. I hope he's not broken, but we are going to have to take him off, I think. He is struggling, which means, I mean, Gyökeres could do 45 minutes, so I think we drop Elunga back and we get Gyökeres on up front. I think that's a reasonable thing to do with half an hour to go. Get Elunga into the position I've signed him to play in. Get one of the best strikers in the world on the pitch. He's only here on a 12-month contract. It'll be all we need. The youngsters will be established by then. We just needed a little bit of goal-scoring experience in the meantime. And this is where we should be a threat. With these set pieces, we've got so many big boys. We're aimed for that far post where De Ligt is lurking. I've got 3 different variants of an in-swinging corner as my different corner routines, and we decide to do an outswinger. I don't understand Football Manager sometimes. What's the point of having set piece instructions if they're just completely ignored? Right, Juan Cruz Herrera is a man I've barely mentioned in amongst all of the planning and excitement for this season, but he's an Argentinian international at 21. He's going to come on for Elunga, and we're going to play him out of central midfield. And then for my other change, I think we take off Garnacho and bring on Shea Lacey, another guy who's come through our youth system, played nearly 100 games for United. Now, never been a regular starter, but in terms of making sure that we can register European squads with homegrown at club players, he's someone we want to keep around and keep in the mix. So we don't want to just bin him off and forget he exists. Right, Mainu is going to come off. We're going to bring Tim Rocket is going to come on for him. Not to be confused with Team Rocket. Yes, I am a Pokemon guy. We move Agate forward. Team Rocket. I mean, it's absolutely what he's going to be now, isn't he? I shouldn't have said a thing. He's got 38 Ireland caps at 21. Good old Team Rocket. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a costume. I've got a Pokédex out on my landing. Right, forget that. Substitutions. I want to get Nizinho on as an attacking option. I think we bring him on for Van der Winden and get him on over there just as a different attacking option, because we are struggling to make a breakthrough here. We've got 10 minutes to go. We've been the better team, but we don't have anything to show for it. Yes, we're holding Spurs to a clean sheet, but it would be nice if we could grab a goal of our own, please and thank you. I guess in the circumstances, with team cohesion as it is, things could be worse. But now we've got to play Arsenal, who finished 20 points clear last season. We're away against Arsenal, and we're now in a situation where we might come out of these first couple of matches with only 1 point, which isn't ideal. Right, no changes for the Arsenal game, because as far as I'm concerned, if we can do the same again as we did against Spurs, against Arsenal, then I guess we do come out of this quite happy, even though we won't have scored a goal. Omar Odion is fit enough to be on the bench, though, so that is the one big change. Let's get the team submitted and hopefully score a goal today. That would be nice, although, to be fair, against a very good Arsenal team, let's just try and survive. Although, to be fair, they've got Gavin Bazunu in goal. Gavin Bazunu is a very strange player in Football Manager. He must have one of the widest ranges on a variable potential ability it's possible to get, because sometimes, as presumably in this situation, because Arsenal have just won the Premier League by 20 points, I guess they've got a really good one. I've had him, I think when I did my world record, I think he was my Spurs goalkeeper when I won the Champions League. And then sometimes he's not good enough to get in the team in the Championship, as I'm showing on Twitch at the moment with Rotherham. He's an enigma, is Gavin Bazunu. Hopefully they've signed a rubbish one. That'd be nice. And we could score a few goals today, but I suspect that won't be the case. Right, De Ligt looking to play it out from the back. New club captain. Now Rashford's moved on. De Ligt is club captain, at least for now. We're probably going to sell him in January, maybe even deadline day now if someone makes a decent offer for him. Brilliant save by Garnacho, by Bazunu. So I guess maybe we're coming up against a good version of him. Once again, it's an outswinger when I want to do in-swingers. Have I just pushed the wrong buttons? Or is Van der Winden just so good at taking corners that he'll take them on either side regardless? Not really that, is it? Weird. I don't really understand. Surely, I mean, who else could take him? I guess Garnacho. Garnacho could have hit an in-swinger from that side. Why did he not? I mean, I'm leaving it to my set-piece coach. I'm sure he'll come up with the correct ideas. Saka forcing the save from Costa. Bukayo Saka, considered the best player in the Premier League. Better. The only player better than Ireland, and they're doing a shenanigans corner. And we've survived it. We've seen 2 shenanigans corners in this episode not work. That is unheard of in FM24. People said, forget FM25, just do an update of FM24. Everyone laughed. Well, it looks like they've done it because they've stopped shenanigans corners from being overpowered. So that could only have been through an update. Right, Aketsi has picked up a bruised thigh. We don't have our other left back on the bench, so he's going to have to stay on for now. I don't want Mamishi to make his debut out of position at left back. That doesn't seem like a fun situation for anybody. It's a story of 2 goalkeepers today, both Bazunu and Costa playing very, very well. So I guess, I mean, I'd be happy with another 0-0. We got the draw out of Spurs. If we get the draw out of Arsenal, that's the 2 best teams in the Premier League not able to beat us. That's got to be a positive. And will stand us well when we play against teams not as good as them. Right, Ilunga has picked up a knock, so the experiment of Ilunga up front might be over. Gyökeres comes on at half-time, and if he doesn't work out, Omarodian's there to bring on as well. So we've definitely got firepower. But half an hour of Victor Gyökeres against Arsenal with no Gabriel to protect them like they had in real life. So I'd like to see him make the breakthrough, please. Interesting that they're playing Ranieri up front. What happened to Schusko? He's supposed to be there. Not even on the bench. He must have picked up a knock, but he's the guy who was keeping Omarodian out of the Dream 11 briefly. He is back in now. Maybe they sold him. Maybe that's how he made it into the Dream 11. Right, we've got a lot of tired legs. We don't have a left back on the bench. I mean, Mamishi is going to have to come on and play there. Can anyone else sort of play there? Scalvini, not really. De Ligt is the only one who's got it as even a basic skill. So De Ligt is going to go out and play left back. It's not ideal. Maybe we just make him an inverted fullback and have him tuck in and it'll have to be fine. Van der Winden's also tiring. So do we put Gyökeres out on the wing just so we can get Omarodian on? I think we do. We're going to do that, which seems bonkers, but we're going to do it. And Ireland still struggling for fitness. So Herrera comes on in midfield again. Can we have a goal, please? A goal would be jolly nice. Arsenal have brought on... No, sorry, they've taken off Martinelli, which I guess is for the best because he probably would have made De Ligt stay pretty... In fact, Saka will be on De Ligt's side, won't he? That's really not ideal. The best player in the league playing against a makeshift left-back is a long way from ideal. Right, Serrao, our proper right back. No makeshift here. He's a legitimate wonder kid. Plays it into Garnacho. Garnacho into the area. Why is he shooting from there? He's got 2 of the best strikers in the league to the side of him, and he just decides to fire it into the side netting. Yes, you're a 6.1. You're a joke. What a ridiculous human being. Get him off. Shea Lacey's coming on. I need a right winger. That was utterly absurd. We should be 1-0 up. And Garnacho's at fault for the fact that we're not. I'm very cross. And it looks like it's going to be another 0-0. We've got all these strikers and we can't score a goal. Oh, if Arsenal score here, that does take some of the fun out of the episode, really. And they're in over the top. Costa's head. He's in the area. Why is he heading that? He's the best goalkeeper in the game. And we've given away a penalty as a result. A 96th minute penalty in a match where we were only supposed to play 5 minutes for time added on. And it's all because Costa inexplicably decides to head it when it's in his own penalty area. This and the Garnacho incident both have no team cohesion written all over them. Football Manager is such a blunt instrument sometimes. Right, I think we've shown enough in these 2 matches to suggest we're a good team. It's going to take us a while to get the team settled down. 1 point of the first 2 matches is not ideal, but we're not going to have any Premier League matches as hard as that again until after Christmas. So now we go on a winning run. Please and thank you. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.